there's no iconic song from Eclipse that I can sing for you, so I'm just gonna sing one from one of the Breaking Dawn films because it's not fair that two iconic songs are from the same story. If you walk away, every day it'll rain, 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 yeah. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Bailey, and I've been reading the Twilight Saga for the very first time. Now this video is part 2. I have part 1 up on my channel and will be around here somewhere for you to check out if you haven't already. So this series is me reading the actual Twilight books by Stephenie Meyer for the very first time. As a young preteen, I was obsessed with the movies. I saw every single one of them except for Twilight in theaters, and I was very obsessed with them. But I never got around to reading the actual books themselves. So this series is me discussing my reactions to reading the books and sort of comparing the books to the films and my own personal feelings on everything and just sort of reliving that late 2000s nostalgia. I won't be critiquing anything or analyzing anything too deeply. You will simply be hearing my opinions. If you want proper discussions from people who are way smarter than me and actually did their research, I will link a few resources down below. So in part 2 of this video, I start by reading Eclipse by Stephenie Meyer. So get prepared for my reactions now. So the book starts with that letter from Jacob where he crosses everything out, but you can still see everything. And I get it's so the reader can sort of know what he was trying to say, but Jacob, write a new note. If I have to hear about this nasty spaghetti one more time, I'm going to go insane. I don't think you can mess up spaghetti this badly, Stephenie. Edward making fun of Bella for reading Wuthering Heights as if her gothic tendencies didn't make her a bona fide monster fucker to actually want to date you, Edward. You should be thanking the book. I like that Bella actually knew that the werewolves were triggered by vampires' presence, but Edward didn't have to be so rude about his first time being stupid in front of her, but you know. I like that Bella was right. Okay, I get Charlie trying to convince Bella to see Jacob because he's friends with his father, but Renee? Everyone's just pressuring Bella to see Jacob, and Edward's like, no. It's gross and very contrived. Edward broke Bella's car to prevent her from going to see Jacob. That is sick. That's disgusting. What the hell? That's... So there wasn't even a full chapter of Bella with her mom. It was like a flashback on the way home. It's the scene where Jacob visits school to chew Edward out, and not Jacob actually calling Edward out on not telling Bella things. Jacob is supposed to be the nasty, awful boy now. Why is he having one good moment again? Okay, we are on page 113 and starting chapter 5, which is called Imprint. Why does Jacob have to be, like, fully grown, like, 25? What? This doesn't make any sense, because of what happens in the next book. It's worse, it's worse, it's worse. Edward is so creepy. He's just, like, following Bella around, and he's, like, yelling at her and telling her that she doesn't know what's good for her and everything. It's really disgusting. They need to change the name of this book to Get a Job, Stay Away from Her, for both parties involved. And then Edward gave Alice a car for having to babysit Bella every time he's not able to watch her himself. Rosalie is only able to talk to Bella now because this is the first time she's ever been away from Edward in her presence. Edward is terrifying. Rosalie is just trying to tell her life story, and Bella's like, wait a minute, Edward was born around this same time. This is probably what his life was like too. No, they're two different people. Have some sympathy. Rosalie only saved Emmett because he looked like a baby she met once. Never mind. Burn everybody down. Burn all the characters to the ground. Nope. Quill imprinted on a baby, on a 2-year-old, on a baby. Ew, 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 ew. Oh, and in this chapter, Edward's suddenly nice and accepting and allowing Bella to go see Jacob right when Jacob and her are in a fight. I think Stephanie realized that she didn't want both of her monsters to be actual abusers and is trying to fix Edward, but too little too late. Alrighty, page 196, chapter 9. I'm not having fun anymore. Jacob just said that he only wears the cutoff shorts because he has to carry his clothes with him when he's a wolf. Where is he carrying the cutoff shorts? Does he have a pocket? Does he have a purse? Edward got Bella a helmet and riding jacket for her motorcycle and was flirting with her and kissing her. Edward, that's how you keep Bella safe, not by being an abusive monster. Though lately in the book, Stephanie Meyer has probably realized that she was writing two horrible, horrible monsters and is lessening the load on Edward, like he's suddenly fine with Jacob and Bella hanging out and stuff. I think she is just retconning on page as she goes. At least this is a little bit of an improvement from the last 100 pages. Bella just compared going from Edward's protection to Jacob's protection as her divorced parents, dropping her off for the summer at her dad's. Bella describes one of the wolf pack staring at his girlfriend that he imprinted on the way a mother looks at a newborn child. Stop conflating love with babies! Alright, I'm on the part where the Quileute tribe stories are definitely being reinterpreted by Stephanie, so I'm just going to skip all the way through this because I know this is not truly what their stories are. She literally took real stories and reappropriated them to fit her own novel, which I think is a vile, horrible act. I'm going to try and see if I can get some resources for their proper stories, and I will link them below. It seems like Edward is no longer constantly asking Bella what she's thinking, because right here, he can see from the expression on her face that she wants to ask him something. Good job finally gaining communication skills, like 109 years after this, you idiot. No, I'm at the part in the book where Jasper talks about his life, and he didn't say, battle scars. He just said, I have a lot of scars like you, Bella. That's like the only line in the movie. That's iconic. No. I hate to say it, but this book is boring. I'm having such a hard time getting through it. I am bored. Okay, I am on chapter 14, page 310, and this is not getting any better for me. Okay, so I knew about Jacob forcing a kiss on Bella that was so strong she could barely move and had to wait until it was over. No, not only that, Bella punched his face, broke her hand, is in a great amount of pain, and you know what Jacob says to her? You broke your hand. Do you know what that reminds me of? Spencer Pratt on the Hills. You're making yourself cry, thinking about what you did. Fuck Jacob. Jacob keeps saying, like, you liked it, you kissed back, you're gonna be thinking about me tonight. He's disgusting, I hate this book so much, I'm having a horrible time. I went to get my coffee and a thief stole my chair. He doesn't want me to read Eclipse either. Charlie just congratulated Jacob for forcibly kissing Bella and breaking her hand. Throw Charlie in the garbage. This book is awful. Edward is doing a better job complimenting Bella for hitting Jacob and saying that she did a very good job and that she should have hurt him. And he's the one taking care of her hand. Why is Edward suddenly good hero boy in this book? No, she's getting dressed for what I assume is her graduation and the khaki skirt is back. No! So Alice was trying to keep Edward out of her thoughts for the entirety of graduation, and she translated the Hymn of the Republic into Arabic, and she was learning Korean Sign Language. She is the best. Team Alice! Now I'm on page 410, chapter 19. Why is Edward such a coward? You don't have to have sex with Bella, you can do other things. They're talking about the fight that's about to begin, and they're obviously on the mountains, and I remember obviously in the movie that there was snow, but are there mountains in Washington? I'm Canadian, so I don't know. Bella rightfully called Jacob's assault an assault, and all he said was, I apologized, get a job, and stay away from her. I'm on page 5:06, chapter 23. I have an hour before I have to leave to run errands, and I have 130 pages left. Let's get this shit done! Edward talking about the proposal while Jacob was within earsight is a little bit nasty. I didn't like that. But, of course, Jacob is worse because he started to whine and cry about it, making Bella sob out of guilt, and now he's like, maybe I should just go fucking die in the battle. Like, what kind of manipulative shit stain? I hate this book. No enjoyment whatsoever. So in the movie, Bella just says, kiss me out of panic because, she's freaking out. In the book, Jacob's like, convince me. You should do something big and deliberate to convince me to not kill myself. I hate Jacob Black. There is a way to make a love triangle work. There is a way to be in love with two people simultaneously. Not by force, not by coercion, not by manipulation, and not by feeling guilty. I hate what this book has done, and I am glad that plenty of love triangles in the genre do not follow this very weird setup. The book being from Bella's perspective is so boring. Like, great, we get to sit with her on the cliff face as she listens to a fight happen below. Thank God the movies show everything and have actual action scenes, because this is a hindrance. Alright, we're finally at the confrontation scene between this random boy we now know is named Riley. In the movies, they set up who he is, what happened to him, and everything about that. And Edward just starts to convince him, oh, Victoria doesn't love you, blah, 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 when we know nothing about what is happening. Thank God the movie was like, why don't we show what's happening instead of just following this teenage girl around and her struggles to not only try and have sex with her boyfriend, but to, like, fight off the advances of another boy. God damn. Is this the first time Victoria has spoken in the entire series? But her iconic line in the Twilight film, I'm the one with the wicked curveball. What about our curveball? No. She has a baby voice. No more babies. I'm sick of babies. So Bella didn't even have to do that whole sacrificing thing because Edward was like, Seth was just faking being hurt, Bella. Like, there was really no issue. So for nothing. For nothing. The Volturi showed up and it wasn't even Aro. It was just the kids. It was just Dakota Fanning. I'm bored. Charlie was talking about how he spent the day with Billy, and Billy seemed to understand that Jake was going to get hurt that day. Then he turns to Bella and he says, I have a feeling I'm going to lose you too soon. Can you give me a heads up so I can hug you goodbye? Aww. Bella is visiting an injured Jacob, and Jacob just said, don't blame me because he's a better manipulator than I am. I haven't learned all of his tricks. Oh my god, very self-aware, but Jake, stop, bad, you're very bad. He just said, do I get points for making you cry? What am I reading? That, Jacob said Eclipse. He said Eclipse. Ooh, he said the title. I'm at the epilogue, and Leia is just trying to say to Jacob, stop thinking about Bella. You're fucking annoying me in my head. I don't want to have any more dreams where I'm kissing her. And Jacob is being disgusting and saying, if you're so caught up in your gender confusion, Leia, wah, Sam and Emily, shut up, you stupid, immature child. Leia is literally the most tortured character in this entire series, and you're a stupid little child whining about a girl you like. Like, get fucked. Jacob ran into the woods forever. We're finally free. Breaking Dawn doesn't exist, and I'm free, right? I'm finally free, right? Right? What? This is my hair. This has always been my hair. What are you talking about? No, it's not a wig. This has always been my hair. It's always looked like this. What are you talking about? Battle scars. Okay. Let's do this for real. I'm Hannah Montana. I kissed Bella, and then she broke her hand, punching my face. Alright, my final thoughts on Eclipse by Stephanie Meyer. I'm giving this book 2 stars because, yes, as bad as it is, I know the 4th one is going to be worse, so that one deserves the 1 star. This one, awful, ruined every single character in the series, but not as bad as Breaking Dawn, so it gets 2 stars. I can't believe how badly all the characters are decimated in this book. Nobody's likable. I hate everybody. All of their actions are disgusting and abusive and just horrible. Everyone in here sucks. Like, Edward is an abusive monster that gets
literally retconned on page to suddenly becoming a good guy because Stephenie Meyer realized that, hey, maybe people don't want to fall for Edward when he's being such an abusive monster. Let me turn him into a nice, good pushover boyfriend that'll let Bella do whatever she wants. But I won't forget those first 100 pages, those first horrible, vile 100 pages where Edward literally broke her car so she couldn't go visit Jacob. All the side characters are fucked up in here too. Alice is a manipulator as well, even though she tries to feign innocent. She's literally pressuring Bella into doing things that she doesn't want to do, like going to parties, getting makeovers done, having a sleepover, which is just a kidnapping at the Cullen house while Edward is away, and finally manipulating her into throwing her a wedding, which makes her very uncomfortable. I just can't believe that Alice, the literal love of Bella's life, would be so horrible to her. So fuck this book. Even Charlie gets ruined because he congratulates Jacob for his horrible actions. And don't even get me started on this book being a total assassination of the character of Jacob Black. I cannot believe that's how badly he becomes. Just because Stephenie Meyer did not like the reaction from New Moon, where people started to see Jacob and Bella as the better couple. If you didn't want that as the outcome, Stephenie, why did you write him that much better in the previous book, writing him as the good guy who helped Bella out of her depression from losing Edward? But no, I no longer support this little fucking monster of a man who assaults Bella, manipulates her, abuses her, uses his excuses that, oh, I'm just a werewolf, I have animal instincts, I can't control myself, and also being awful to his wolf pack. I hate Jacob Black. I hate this nasty 25-year-old bodied man with the mind of a 16-year-old just whining his way through this book, threatening to kill himself if Bella didn't make out with him, forcing himself on Bella so bad that she punched him in the face and broke her hand, and then saying it was her fault that she broke her hand. Fuck this book, I hate it! And as much as I hate the books, the movie, the most forgettable. Can you name a song from this movie? Can you name an iconic line? Not really. No. Can you remember anything that happens in this movie specifically, except for the gross Jacob whining? You remember the battle outside in the snow? Kind of. Do you remember the tent scene? Just a little bit. Do you remember them fighting over Bella? I don't know, I was trying to think about what I could remember in this movie, and I couldn't think of anything in detail. That's so odd to me, because this film series is so iconic. Every single movie has its own iconic color to it, has its own iconic, visuals and parts and moments, but this one is so forgettable. And the director of this movie has done other things. He's actually done other vampire things. He directed the film 30 Days of Night. He also directed the Bandersnatch Netflix thing for Black Mirror, which has its own cool style and unique aspects to it as well. But this movie is just sort of nothing. Like, nothing really goes on. The only thing I can really think of is that it's set outside. There's a lot of crushed black and white and a little highlight of red, Like, that's it. That's all this movie is to me. And that's weird, because the Twilight Saga is so iconic. So Bella, how'd you hurt yourself? Did you try to walk and chew gum at the same time? I punched a werewolf in the face. Badass. So that's my review of Eclipse by Stephenie Meyer, the third book in the Twilight Saga. I am not looking forward to Breaking Dawn.
Edward got Bella a new car that's bulletproof, meant for diplomats? Edward, you're incredibly paranoid. Just get her a nicer, higher-end car that wouldn't cause everyone in town to stare at her like this. This is weird. This is really weird. Bella still wants Jacob as her best man, even though he did all that to her. So Bella is worried about having sex as a human because she thinks when she's a newborn, all she's going to think about is blood for the first few years. But then you have eternity, Bella. You have eternity to do whatever you want. This is such a stupid plot point. Just wait a few years. In these books, they always talk about how the Cullens and the Denali clan are the only vegetarian vampires. I just like to think that all other vampires are just well-adjusted while also drinking human blood, and they think that the Cullens are just like these wimps. I like that Stephenie Meyer went Oh, don't worry about losing Jacob Black to the monster character that I've created for him. Have a new, sweet, special little boy named Seth. I like Seth, he's a good little boy. Well, they finally did the deed, and there wasn't even a fade to black. There was just the moment where they're, like, in the water together, and then she wakes up the next morning. That does heavily imply that they did it in the water, but I'm glad they didn't. Also, Edward was biting pillows. Pfft. Well, that whole wedding section was boring, but at least it's the easiest part to read. Okay, I'm on page 99, chapter 6. What better way to spend Valentine's Day than by reading awful pregnancy gore? I should note that one of my biggest fears is pregnancy and parasites, so this is going to be fun. I hate to be the one to say this, but Edward, just finger her. Just finger her, that's it. It's so easy, just do it. Yes, the housekeepers of Isle Esme are a bit, grossly described, but at least the housekeeper knows what's going on and she's trying to get Bella to be safe, get a job, stay away from her. So good for her. Okay, Bella's trying to argue that she's pregnant because she's human, which makes sense, but then she's trying to say that men have the ability to impregnate human women because no matter what, they can have kids. What? Ew, 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 ew. Stop talking about childbearing years and yuck, yuck. Oh great, the 3 worst possible words that I could encounter right now. Jacob is thinking about how Bella is going to be possibly explained as dead, and he keeps thinking about his mom as well. Stop conflating love and parenthood. Those are 2 different types of love. Nope. Nope. Quill is with his child bride. Nope, skipping it. Nope. Oh my god, they gave her a baby voice. Stephanie Meyer gave her an on-page baby voice. Edward is offering Bella to Jacob so she can breed. What am I reading? I can't believe Jacob told Bella about the offer to impregnate her. At least Bella knew it was Edward automatically, just instinctually. Good for her. She's making some very poor choices, but she doesn't have to deal with their stupid ideas, Okay, I'm on page 206, chapter 11. I am in a lot of pain in my neck, so I might not move that much. The whole pack meeting was actually not that bad. In the movie, they're all, barking in English and, yelling at each other, and it's very dramatic. In the book, it's sort of like, is this what you're gonna do, Jacob? And Jacob's like, I have no choice. And Sam's like, oh, well, Jacob said that nudity in the pack was normal until Leia came along, and then they all just had to stare at her naked body. That's really gross, guys. Jacob's blonde jokes at Rosalie are getting disgusting. What is with Stephanie Meyer and E.L. James and blondes? I found the worst paragraph in the series. The horror. What was she now? Had her body changed because she'd become a werewolf, or had she become a werewolf because her body was wrong? The only female werewolf in the history of forever. Was that because she wasn't as female as she should be? Fuck off, Stephanie Meyer. That is the most vile thing I've ever heard. That was the worst chapter of a book I've ever read. The pregnancy horror was disgusting. I'm disgusted. I'm just in a lot of pain. And Jacob imprinted on a baby. At least we're out of his perspective now. That was so horrible. Okay, we are on page 367. We are finally back to Bella's perspective. I don't know if that's going to be better or worse, but at least she's a vampire now. I cannot believe Renesmee was born with a full set of teeth. That is the most haunting visual I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, by the way, I learned from a Tumblr post and I googled to confirm, Edward has 2 medical degrees because he's gone to college so many times. Then why is he stupid? And also, why does he go to Carlisle for everything if he apparently has 2 medical degrees? Bella did a backflip off her bed. That's awesome. Okay, Bella counting every fraction of a second, a little annoying. But I can't believe Edward ruined his entire life because he decided to have unprotected sex once with a human girl instead of waiting until she was a vampire, when she's, horny all the time. I like that suddenly Jasper and Emmett have nicknames because, everyone's just calling him Jazz and Yep, these characters that we've known for so long. Bella getting pissed at Jacob for imprinting on her infant. We really do like to see it, don't we? Well, this section was already easier to read than the previous, so can't wait for more boring stuff.
Alright, I'm on page 486, chapter 25. I don't know if I have much to say because I'm very bored.
Bella just said, I would have sworn there was nothing more beautiful than Edward in his khakis and pale beige pullover. Oh! I still can't believe that Jacob told Charlie about everything just so that they wouldn't leave, because he wants to fuck the baby. Alice is giving Bella her contact lenses so she can meet her father, and she just keeps saying, Bella, your brown eyes were the prettiest brown eyes I've ever seen. She always looks gorgeous. Just be with Alice. Drop the baby off in a fire with Jacob. Kill Edward and just be with Alice. It's so easy. They're pretending that the baby is like Edward's niece or something, but they're still naming her Renesmee, Bella's mom and Edward's mom. Charlie isn't stupid, you guys. The visual of a baby hunting is weird. Really weird. I'm on page 572, chapter 30, but I doubt I'll be updating much because this is just the Great Vampire Roundup, and I'm not about that.
And then I didn't.
I went for a Volturi look because they're the, only good characters left in the series, so I thought I would, goth it up just a little bit. Pay a little homage to Michael Sheen, a little ha ha ha. Can't do it as well as him. Ooh. Okay, Breaking Dawn. So I read and completed Breaking Dawn by Stephenie Meyer, therefore closing out me reading the original saga. As you saw, I sort of stopped filming myself reading it and reacting to it in real time, just because it is a lot. It is both the most and the least book that I've ever read. And that second half was incredibly boring. See, the thing about this book is that it is so infamous. Everything in it has been memed to death. Everything about it has been discussed to death, that I really don't know what to say about it that hasn't already been said before. This book is incredibly violent. This book is incredibly disgusting, both in its visceral description of a child being ripped out of someone's body and having teeth and all that violent stuff, but also just the horrible, horrible romanticization of young people, of children, of babies, and that being considered okay, especially bringing in an indigenous group into it and sort of stereotyping it as being part of their culture. This is a mess. This is just a lot of things that I just don't want to tackle. So I'm just going to say a few personal things about it, my personal opinion. Number one, why is this framed as a romance? Stephenie Meyer clearly has the ability to write horror incredibly well. All of her horrible descriptions, of course, but then the actual dark themes, the monstrous themes, the horrific themes of this book. This should have been marketed as a horror series, a supernatural teen horror. And I could see it being compared to Annette Curtis Klaus's work. She is the author of Blood and Chocolate and The Silver Kiss, books about werewolves and vampires respectively, that tackle dark themes very, very well, and acknowledge those themes as dark because the characters in the book, even if they are teenagers, they are also monsters. They're not human. And I personally think that Stephenie Meyer should not have blown up so greatly, because she did not need to tackle the entire world's hatred of the things she wrote in this book. If she were just on the down low like Annette Curtis Klaus's books, this would have been a really interesting and dark series that wouldn't have been talked about to death and analyzed to death, critiqued to death, because Stephenie Meyer is not the entire apex of everything she's written in this book. She shouldn't have had to take on the responsibility of horrible misogynists and weird obsessive people and the hatred of teenage girls and the media that they consume. That was not her job, and I don't know why we put that upon her. That being said, of course she's written horrible, horrible things in this book. She has written grooming, she has been incredibly racist, and she has been just heteronormative and gross and all of that. The things she wrote about Leah Clearwater, I will never forgive her for. But those are just awful, horrible things on their own that should have been tackled personally, not by the entire goddamn world and Twilight Mania. There is just so much about this book that is wrong and bad, but the worst thing about it is that it's goddamn boring after Bella dies. I'm so bored by the fact that she does not struggle even for a minute with her vampirism. Think about the awesome book this could have been of her dealing with these new feelings, sensations, these new powers, these new emotions. But nope, she just breezes by. Renesmee is the most disgusting thing that I've ever laid eyes on. The fact that she was born with a complete set of teeth is just disgusting. The fact that she can speak, I hate it, I hate it. It's gross, I hate it. You imprinted on my daughter? She's a baby! I've held her once. One time, Jacob. Nessie, you nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster! I can't deliver it like Kristen Stewart can. I don't think anybody can. Alright. The films. The films actually did a very good job with the source material they were given. Part 1 is just the wedding and the pregnancy drama, but that's a film in itself. It managed to be a film. It's a bit slow at times, but everything was filmed very well. Everything was translated very well from page to screen. I was less bored and disgusted. They did the horror scenes very, very well. I will give them kudos for that. But this is the film, you know, the most boring, the least, you know, going on. Just some interpersonal drama followed by intense horror that I was not expecting at the age that I saw it. And then Breaking Dawn Part 2, which is the one that I have seen basically the least. I saw it in theaters, which was so much fun. Oh my god, to have the experience of everyone in the theater during the final battle scene, incredible. Cannot relive that by rewatching it. It was just the perfect experience. And I knew about it going in, so it was so much fun. I was just sitting there grinning to myself and enjoying the action, and I wasn't upset by anything because it was just like, yay, oh my god, finally! And it's good that I found myself enjoying this film because this part of the book, I was literally skimming. I didn't give a crap about any of the new vampires who did nothing. I didn't care about the fact that Bella suddenly had superpowers and could use them perfectly. I didn't care that the Volturi and the Cullens and all the vampire families were coming together for this big war only for it to be a stupid discussion in the book. Now, it didn't need to end in big action and death. I understand Stephenie Meyer's plans there. She wanted to make it like The Merchant of Venice. It wasn't done very well, but she tried. And the book was just so boring and it ended with a thud. It ended with just no consequences, no compelling nuance, no themes, nothing. It just ended with, and they all lived happily ever after. The film at least got to see a bunch of vampires' bodies get ripped apart, the earth just break in half. It got to see Rami Malek, it got to see Lee Pace, which thank God they added some character to these characters. And it also had the guy from Shameless playing a Russian guy, weirdly. I like him a lot. He voiced a character on X-Men Evolution. I will love him forever. But yeah, this is a weird movie. And don't get me started on Jacob and the baby. No. So, that's my review of The Breaking Dawns. I am giving the book 1 star. I was planning to give it that anyway. I knew going in I would not like it. I thought this was a terrible ending to the series. I think that it was useless and boring, and I wish that the series had ended in a more darker way, in a more compelling way, with proper consequences and discussion, dark themes, anything, really. So that's it. that is me reviewing the entire Twilight Saga as I read the books for the very, very first time. I hope you enjoyed the process of me reacting to everything. I understand that reading Breaking Dawn did drain me a little bit, so I do apologize for that. But thank you so, so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back with more videos very, very soon. Bye-bye!